where are you? And I'm so sorry. Hi.
Welcome back to Chuck and Clouds.
Welcome.
Chuck Back Clouds. I'm saying.
Yes. Welcome back to the vape-based podcast.
Yeah. Welcome back to Cloudhead. Wait, I'm not sure that's a real podcast. I don't want to rip off anything. I don't know enough about podcasts. Funny enough, I'm sitting one.
Here's a copyright logo on the audio only thing you're listening to.
Bada boom.
Trademark.
That's just every time I see TM on any product now.
You're like, oh man, I went down to the food court, got some Taco Bell, trademark, and we have to do it every time. Okay, here's the thing. Do you like Rent?
Do I like Rent?
Yes.
I fucking love Rent. How we gonna pay?
Here's the thing.
Last year's
Rent fucking sucks.
Fuck you. I love Rent.
Here's the thing. Okay? Play with me in this space. Rent is a shitty musical about shitty people acting like assholes.
Yeah.
And everyone loves it for no reason, including myself.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't.
First of all, why? Do you know what I mean, though?
I can't explain because I've watched it enough times. When I watched it, weirdly enough, I watched it. It was in a collection of movies that my grandparents had for us on our way. Like they'd pick us up from I was a minor. I watched this movie I watched this movie when I was a child.
Right.
I don't think my grandparents realized it wasn't for children. I don't know how it slipped through the radar, but it did. Same thing happened with Monkey Bone, by the way.
That movie is a fucking acid trip.
Yeah, I watched that when I was 9.
That's not okay.
No. Really fucked me up, I think. But anyway, we're not talking about Monkey Bone. We're talking about Rent.
Yeah. And how we're going to pay it.
How are we going to pay last year's rent?
Right.
I mean, how do you document real life when real life starts to look like fiction each day?
Okay, here's the thing. Didn't need the bit to keep going.
Headlines and breadlines blow my mind.
No.
But
what's the guy's name? Mark?
Which one?
The blonde guy.
Dude, I don't fucking know their names.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were a fucking rent head.
No, I know Angel, and that's it, because Angel's all you gotta fucking know about that.
I thought you were a renter. Guess you didn't sign the lease.
Let's not go into my finances, okay? I don't want to.
Guess you're not re-upping this year.
I really don't want to go into that right now.
Here's the thing. I rewatched.
I don't think.
I watched a video about the movie recently, but I have. Here, are you gonna?
Yeah,
it's a good first showing.
Yeah.
Have you seen the actual stage production or just the movie?
Just the movie, unfortunately.
I have been to Rent.
Mm-hmm.
It is no better than the film.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Rent is one of those ones that it's people really, really love it, but there are a lot of things that's wrong with it. But I myself am also someone who enjoys it for no reason. But if we're being real, it's super pretentious, right?
Kinda.
Think about the premise. Mm-hmm. It is about these two spoiled white kids.
Yeah.
Whose parents call them on a daily basis and essentially go, "Hey, we will give you money to do whatever you want. Just say hi to us sometimes." And Mark's like, when I want to kill myself because I'm cold and hungry and starving and getting stabbed every night, I think to myself, why am I living here? And then she calls. And it's like, dude, I hope you fucking explode. You know what I mean? And then their landlord, who should be the easiest person to target because landlords, is like, look, you guys can live here rent-free. We just want to do some construction on the building. And they're like, fuck you, Benny.
Yeah, Benny they really make Benny look like a real piece of shit in the movie.
Right? And then he starts being like, well, then I'm going to kick you out if you're going to act like that.
Yeah, because I have a business to fucking
Right.
run.
But then he even doesn't, and he's like, you know what? I won't do my gentrification, and you can still live here for rent because your friend convinced me. And they're like, you're a fucking piece of shit. All you want is a photo op. And you, Mimi, you're a fucking whore. For convincing him,
Mimi?
for convincing him we should live here rent-free. What the fuck?
Oh, and everyone has AIDS.
Here's the thing.
Because not
everyone. You know how I know that?
everyone except for Mark, right?
Because there's a scene where our protagonist, our hero, Mark,
Oh my god.
goes to a fucking meeting for people who are HIV positive.
Yes.
And when they go, oh, excuse me, are you new? Who are you? Instead of being like, oh, hi, I'm Mark. Angel invited me because they wanted me to, see if it's okay if I film some stuff for a film I'm making. I'm a filmmaker. He goes, oh, I don't have AIDS. Thanks, Mark.
I'm not one of those.
Oh, trust me, I'm not a fucking freak, okay? And then as people are starting to tell these really tough stories about how it's hard to live with AIDS in a city riddled with poverty, he's just sitting back there with his fucking Super 8.
And then he's fucking complaining. He's like, oh man, my life's so fucking hard. All my friends are dying of AIDS. You're the only one that's still alive.
You're the only one who's okay. Maybe support them. Well, and then this motherfucker gets a job with a media company. He gets a high-paying job in the field he wants to work in. And he's like, I hate this, dude. I'm fucking working for the man.
The man.
I'm going to work my foot in your ass, Mark. If fucking BuzzFeed called me tonight and was like, you can do your podcast, just do it at our office and we'll pay you. Guess what? I'm there already.
Yeah. You didn't even tell me. You're already gone.
No, I'm gone. And I just call you and I'm like, get to Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, I can't.
I go, get to Los Angeles. Also, yes, I can teleport.
Oh.
Also, I don't have AIDS. What a piece of shit. Also, everyone's like favorite casual cute song is for sure about murdering a dog. Everyone's really bad.
Oh, the one with Angel where she fucking makes the dog bark to death?
Where she she pushes a dog out of a window.
What?
Because the neighbor's like, that dog is too loud.
I'm thinking about the movie.
Yeah, that happens in the movie.
She seems to push it out a window.
Yeah, she does. In the song, she talks about murdering the dog so it'd shut the fuck up.
I thought the dog just kept barking until it just died.
No, Angel murders the dog because the neighbor who she works for pays her to fucking do a hit on the dog.
God, this is slowly unveiling to be like more and more dark, like the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen.
Or he murders Santa
Where
Claus.
he fucking murders Santa Claus.
And then becomes him.
Yeah. Them's the rules.
That's...
Because, when I murder someone, I assimilate their being.
That's true. If you murder someone...
Especially if they're a lovable,
A lovable holiday mascot.
Yeah, of course. Just as this legend of folklore.
Yeah, I just murdered a rabbit, and now I have to deliver candy to people's house on Easter.
Like, I wake up one night, freak out, because someone's breaking into my house, I snap their neck, next thing you know, I'm collecting kids' fucking teeth underneath their pillows for the next, 30 years. Because this bitch.
Because this bitch didn't want to let me sleep.
That's what the Tooth Fairy movie was doing. The Rock Johnson should have been.
Just the Rock snapping someone's neck.
It's just a really brutal, John Wick fight. The first, 10 minutes, him and the Tooth Fairy. And then it reveals in the light, that scene in Tropic Thunder where he kills the panda. No! As he sprouts wings.
Was that movie real? Did you ever see The Tooth Fairy?
Nope.
That's one that I... Thank you. This is going to be a good conversation to go into.
God, no.
I feel like I have seen it. But then again...
Have you seen a Dwayne The Rock Johnson comedy?
That's like asking, have you been outside? The motherfucker's in every movie that there is.
Yeah, he's the highest paid actor right now, I believe. I think he beat RDJ, right?
Yeah, dude, there was one point where he was in 3 movies that were in theaters, and the funniest part was every trailer looked like the same movie. He was in Rampage, Skyscraper, and fucking one other one. And the
one in the tower where he's missing a leg or something?
That's Skyscraper.
Oh.
And then I think it was the other Jumanji movie. And he's wearing the same outfit and just jumping on top of shit in every fucking movie.
He's got to show off his fucking hams, bro.
Dude, apparently he has a traveling gym.
You know what? That actually doesn't surprise me.
Right?
A man like that? Jesus. I mean, what besides like the fact, like the only thing I can imagine besides having a traveling gym for him is if instead of driving his car home to set and back, he pushes the car.
he just sprints.
He just puts it into neutral and he just fucking like a horse tied to a wagon. He just pulls it down the highway.
And they're like
at the same speed too. He never gets pulled over.
No, he's going 75 on the freeway.
The cops can't stop him because
they can't catch him.
Yeah, if they wanted to, they couldn't.
And they're like,
catch him.
Dwayne, you don't drive the car. Why do you walk there? And he's like
the
hard
Hulk.
Work, gotta grind.
He's like the Hulk in the Hulk movie with Eric Bana.
He just sprinting through the desert,
running around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta follow my rainbow.
That's a real song, man.
Dude, honestly, that was the awesomest first level to a Sonic game.
Yeah,
The awesomest. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says about any other Sonic game.
No, it's so rad.
Because you fucking jump out of a goddamn airplane.
Mm-hmm.
You steal the door or like a piece of the plane off. You jump down with it. You do some sick, nasty fucking flips and shit all the way down, and then you land on what seems to be San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And you just fucking...
And you just shred fucking ass.
Shred ass, dude, all the way down.
And then at one
that
point,
fucking
I think
road.
a diesel truck starts chasing
Yeah, a
you.
diesel truck the size of the fucking road, by the way. Which, who the fuck is making
who
those
employed
trucks?
you, motherfucker?
Either who's making these trucks or who's making these roads.
Somebody fucked something up, and I
Someone's
want to
fucking
know.
something up. Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, I do believe the truck actually like devours whole ass cars underneath the
I
tires.
think it just destroys
So
everything.
I think
in
it's
sight.
just a fucking demon truck.
Yeah. How come Sonic didn't get included in the Sokovia Accords? Sorry.
The Soviet Accord? Are you asking why? Asking why Sonic the Hedgehog wasn't more prevalent in communist like?
No, I'm
doings?
asking why when they fucking told all the Avengers you work for the government now, why didn't we include Sonic in that bill? To be honest, the fucking chaos and fallout from that man is far worse than anything the Avengers have done.
To be honest, I can't really remember a lot that Sonic. Oh god, dude, those 5-layer burritos just keep coming
You have
up,
burped
dude.
into my microphone.
This
1,000
microphone,
times.
this filter, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, it smells like 5-layer burrito, blood orange mango snow cone, and rainbow unicorn bang. And
Like-
I want to eat it off the mic.
I feel like I have to
cream
retire that
cone.
microphone after you leave.
And I'm gonna let you all hear me eat this filter.
Do you think anyone's ever taken these pop filters and put it on the head of their penis and then made their partner record a podcast into their penis for pleasure?
We talked about this. I'm not doing that.
Look, don't bring up our personal life.
Why'd you have to ask me this now?
We're doing a show. Stop. You're embarrassing. You're
Stop.
embarrassing me in front of the audience.
I'm watching for my friends.
I told you I would do
Mom.
it. I told you I would do it for your mom. Hold on a second. That made that bit so much more interesting.
It was just the nature of the voice that we were using. It just came out.
That's not the only thing coming out. Hey-oh.
Hell.
Semen. So Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, man, what's he been up to? What's
is a
Sonic
good
been up to? This is definitely not tanking.
God.
Oh my gosh. You know what? What was the last Sonic game you played?
So weirdly enough, it was Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes!
I think that is my Sonic Adventure because I never played Sonic Adventure when I was a kid, so I can actually judge it as a game.
Did you play Sonic Heroes before I brought it up? Or
Yeah, I used to own that on
Okay.
PS2 as well.
all right, let me see. Give me that copy. I want to see it.
Yeah,
actually.
that
Is it
was-
over there on that side? Give me that. It's right there. It's right next to
Space Channel 5.
yeah, right next to Space Channel 5 and Catwoman for PS2.
Yeah, no, fucking.
Oh my god,
dude,
this game's a classic.
Sonic
man.
Heroes was my first Sonic game.
Team Chaotix.
Hell yeah,
Oh, yeah. And Team Dark.
I have a theory that one of the Team Chaotic members is non-binary because, of course.
The Bumblebee?
Wait, let me see.
Which one? Bumblebee or the Chameleon? There's an alligator.
The Chameleon, I think.
The Chameleon?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Right?
know what? That makes sense.
That would be sick.
That would be sick.
Honestly, if there was
That's
any,
canon now.
I feel like if there was anyone to be that inclusive, it would be Sonic for some reason.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I guess the robot would count too as well, right? Because robots just don't have gender.
I don't think that's the same thing.
But like, what's the closest?
Listen up,
thing?
NBs. You're all a bunch of fucking robots. I don't know, man.
Because that was the thing with you know what I'm talking about, do you? The thing with Borderlands 3?
No.
No? Oh
I
yeah,
heard fuck all about Borderlands.
There was this
3.
whole thing where like people kept referring to the robot character Flack as he, and the creators of the of the character were like, "How do you know it's a he? It's a robot."
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh fuck.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad somebody said something.
Yeah." So that's why I'm like, I don't know. You don't know what they are. So you don't.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. It's a fucking robot.
Maybe EE 109. What the fuck is the robot's name?
Well, like it's a person though, also because like doesn't the robot end up showing like
they have a consciousness
and
yeah.
stuff? Yeah.
I think in Sonic Adventure they like save a bird or something.
Yeah. And you know, non-binary people also have consciousness. So I'm just kidding.
I'm really glad you came to that conclusion.
No, that's not the parallel I'm trying to draw. I'm literally just talking about the character.
Like, fuck, cut that. No, yeah, Sonic Heroes was my first Sonic game, dude. And honestly, it's one of those ones where it's like, for so many years of being like, God, how do people love Sonic Adventure? That game fucking sucks. I understand it because Sonic Adventure or Sonic Heroes is not a good game.
No, it is not.
But God, do I love it every time I put it on. And I will sit there and play it, and it's such a piece of shit game. What? Oh no.
I just realized there's an acronym on the back of this box, right? The acronym is TEAM, TEAM. You want to guess what the word for T stands for? In TEAM?
What is it?
It's team.
No fucking way, wait. Oh my God. The acronym of team is, the T is Team Sonic.
Yep. And the rest goes on. E is effortlessly or whatever. It goes over like
astonishing and multiplayer. Jesus Christ, Sega. You really made me want to play it with that one. That was a good first showing.
Yeah. What if we just did that as a podcast? We just take old PS2 game covers and just shit on them.
We could honestly, real shit though, we could honestly make an entire podcast just talking about PS2 games, and we would have content for the rest of our lives.
That's most of what we played.
It was very
PS2
true.
And GameCube.
That was my favorite console of all time.
I think those are the consoles we played games on the most growing up.
Yeah, I didn't have a GameCube actually, so it was
no,
it was a PS2 for me my whole life. That and N64.
When did you get a GameCube? Did you ever get one?
Mm-mm.
It was only the one I had that you played, huh?
Oh, well, we had the
what games
Wii.
are over there?
We had the Wii.
Oh, that's right, we had the Wii.
I have SpongeBob the movie, the game, which is mine. That was the only one I brought to the table.
Sure?
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have owned that one on PS2 then.
Yeah, and then I think every other game I have here is yours.
Yeah, these are mostly
Chicken
my
Little,
games.
baby.
Narnia, Ratchet and Clank,
Not the
Madagascar.
PS2 ones. I feel like you have a decent amount of PS2 games in here, but most of these were mine.
I brought you Siphon Filter.
You guys, it's fucking Siphon Filter.
It's fucking Siphon Filter.
Does anyone besides me know what that game is?
You know what? I don't think I even knew what the game was.
No.
And I brought it over.
Because as you were showing me the games, I stopped dead in my fucking tracks. And I freaked my fucking shit out.
How do you know about this? Is it something you own?
It was on, you know what it was on? It was on the PS2 demo disc that I had as a child. Do you remember demo discs?
I do.
It was one of the ones on there. And I remember all the first levels, you're running through a city and you just are dual wielding pistols and you just murder people.
Hell yeah.
And the city's on fire. And
like the Daniel Radcliffe movie.
No, I don't know if those are similar.
Just like it's just the exact same thing.
Talking about guns akimbo.
I'm talking about guns akimbo. Can you tell that I'm dozing the fuck out?
I can tell
right
you're starting to pass out.
I've been at work all day, people.
That's true. You're shaking the microphone like a motherfucker.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm also wired on Bang because I had to chug that before I started recording.
You're having a tough balance, I can tell. Don't know about that sound that you made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we wrap up, because,
okay.
Good Lord. I do want to let you talk about Warrior because
oh my God.
I know you're begging to talk about it and I'm begging to watch it.
Yes. Everyone, that includes you, person that's listening to this right now, watch fucking Warrior because it's so good. And it does not have enough attention because it's on fucking Cinemax.
Cinemax. It comes on right before Zane's Sex Chronicles.
That sounded too real.
It sure was, dude. That was hey guys, y'all know what I'm talking about. There's someone out there that just guilty looked and got really sweaty because they're listening to this at work. And now they know someone they listen to knows what Zane's Sex Chronicles is.
They know what your shit's about, man.
Zane's Sex Chronicles, baby.
It's okay, yeah. It's on Cinemax, unfortunately, which means that the most prevalent way I can think of to stream it would be through Amazon Prime and getting the fucking Cinemax package.
Yeah,
which you can do a 7-day free trial of if you really want to binge this shit.
Which I probably will do.
Yeah, it's definitely bingeable. I'll tell you that much because it's. Let me tell you one thing, okay. If you like sick ass martial arts, and I'm talking like the Raid, like Ong Bak style, like, you know, no wires, real martial arts, you know, no jump cuts, none of that shit. Real martial arts in an action scene. And it's just good fight choreography in general. And if you love gangsters doing gangster shit, watch fucking Warrior, because it's basically it's kind of a history piece too. It's late 1800s, like 1870s, San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And it's about the Chinese gangs called Tongs, like the crime families of San Francisco. And it follows this one guy who's just really fucking good at kicking people's asses. You know, shenanigans ensue. There's so much to it. There's, you know, different plots that follow, like the police officers. You know, there's the Irish working men, and there's their gangs. There's all the crime drama with the Tongs. And there's like politics and all that crazy shit that goes into it too. But in the end of the day, it really is just like gangsters doing gangster shit.
Yeah. And that's why, because I told you, I think that's how you introduced it to me, was that's what I said, because even though some of the shows that I've loved in the past have, you know, been quite problematic, one of my favorite shows is Sons of Anarchy. Because that show is a perfect example of criminals doing crime and gang people doing gang shit.
Yep.
Because I love watching people do organized crime in fiction.
In fiction.
In fiction, I want you to know. It's interesting because kind of like what we talked about with the protagonist, or the antagonist aspect. You know, it's like you're watching these people do awful shit, and you're so torn because you're like, God, I love them and they're so cool, but
they're so charismatic,
so fucked.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about crime shows specifically, because, you know, there's a million police procedurals and there's a million, like, you know, criminal of the day kind of, or criminal of the week kind of shows. But I love ones where it's like you are watching crime families or crime organizations do shit. Like,
yeah, like that's why I love them, because like there's the action, of course, that I love. You know, there's the fight scene, there's the hits, you know, and there's like the crazy shit that goes on with that, the gang skirmishes. But another thing I like too is just like the gang politics. You know, because like they're like it's like one scene I saw was like two leaders of like two gangs like met up with each other. They had a very like soft spoken, like slow conversation. It's like, okay, I respect your decisions, I respect yours, I think everything will go fine. They separate, you know, and like their assistant asks one of them like, oh, how'd it go? He's like, they're gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah,
like shit like that. And because of the other one, he's like, we're gonna fucking kill him.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. The same shit. Like, I won't say which group this happens with in case you want to watch it. But
that's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah, but in Sons of Anarchy, there's a very similar situation where the Sons are dealing with a very powerful organization, and the main character is trying to push, you know, this thing that's, you know, the Irish gang's pretty racist, and the main character is a lot younger and, you know, not really about it. So he's trying to push like, hey, we'll work with this guy who happens to be black. And, you know, eventually he thinks he convinces them, and they're like, okay, well, you know, we got to talk, you know, and the way they do it in Sons of Anarchy is everyone has a table and they vote. It's democracy. And the guy of the leader of the gang tells him, he's like, okay, well, you know, have a full table, you know, make sure everyone's there. We'll call you at 8:00, and you know, we'll tell you our vote. And then they're all drinking, they're celebrating. They think, yes, we broke racial tension. And then he notices a shamrock pen on the table, shit. And he's like, where the fuck did you get this pen? And he's like, oh, the delivery driver dropped it off. And he's like, what delivery driver? And he's like, for the beer. And right away, he's
Fuck.
like, everyone get the fuck out, and they blow up the fucking clubhouse.
Jesus Christ.
And you're
Yep.
just like, what the fuck? These like calm,
What's
group
up with
of
Irish
old-
people blowing shit up?
They love that's
'Cause
a
they're
line
blow-
in the show. They're
they-
like Irish motherfuckers love to blow shit up.
Because the Irish and Warriors, guess what? They're blowing shit up.
Irish people love bombs. They love blowing shit up. I feel it. They love car bombs.
Oh, they sure do. I do too.
It's fun. I'm just
They're
kidding.
tasty.
We do not. We have,
Irish car bomb? You never had Irish car bomb?
is
It's
that
drink.
a drink?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of
I-
offensive.
I
but
didn't get that bit. Can't offend Irish people. They're white.
no, God, no. You kidding me?
We're both Irish, by the way. so
Yes.
we're
I
both
can
part
I can
Irish.
say these things. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's super good. It's if you like, gangsters doing gangster shit, you like martial arts. It's also if you're also just a fan of like Bruce Lee, this is actually based on a show written by Bruce Lee himself.
He
that
wanted to be in it, right?
Yeah, he keep that in mind when you watch it. Is the main character was written for Bruce Lee by Bruce Lee, so you can see that the actor tries to bring on some like Bruce Lee mannerisms, like when he does like the pose with the fingers, like
Yeah.
the hang loose kind of thing, and like you can tell like it's as if like you can tell that the role was for Bruce Lee,
Right.
and it's of course they couldn't do it back then because Asian representation in American media,
Yeah.
back then wasn't exactly booming.
Wasn't great. Clearly, it's
No.
still not. Shows on fucking Cinemax.
Yeah, it's on fucking Cinemax of all places. But one other thing I want to touch on, just because I think it's so cool, and I think I already went over it with you, is how they address language.
Yeah, this is really cool the way you said this.
Yeah, and this is one of the small little things that I love the most about this, because in every single movie I see where there's a movie that takes place in Germany, right? And everyone's speaking English to each other, and it's just like, and it's even worse when they have the German accents, but they're still speaking English. It's because it means like, okay, you guys both speak German. Why aren't you speaking to each other in your first language right now? And why are you guys speaking in English instead? Of course, it's because we can't put subtitles throughout the entire
God
movie.
forbid.
Yeah. But they address that situation in Warriors with just a really simple camera trick.
Mm-hmm.
They showed this scene where these two Chinese characters are speaking Cantonese to each other, right? And they're going back and forth in Cantonese. You don't know what they're saying, and the camera kind of just does a little pan around, like it circles them essentially. And as it passes by their head, you get a bit of an audio distortion, and then they start speaking in perfect English, like no accents or anything, just like perfect Queen's English, And that's to establish that when two Cantonese characters are speaking to each other, or Cantonese speaking characters, they're speaking in Cantonese, but like this is what it would sound like if you were a fluent Cantonese speaker,
Right.
This is what they're hearing.
You're essentially watching a dub of the show. Like it's they're
It dubs it for
basically-
you,
Yeah,
essentially.
they're treating the show as if you understood the native language.
Exactly. But then the added detail they put on top of that was that when that's two Cantonese speaking characters, speaking perfect English to each other, when it's a Cantonese speaker or a Chinese actor speaking to a white character in the show, they speak in super broken English with a very thick accent. And of course, there's some characters that speak better English than other characters, so some accents are much stronger than others, but you have a full gradual scale of characters that are like, oh, this guy's really good at English, and you can tell because he's into politics and all that,
Right.
And there's this character that doesn't speak fuck all for English, so he's literally
Right.
saying full whiskey pre.
It's sort of like the difference. I don't want to come off sounding like this. I don't fuck all about music, but I watch a lot of video essays about music. And I don't know if you know these terms, but there's a difference between diegetic sound and non-diegetic sound. So it's basically the difference of something diegetic is if we're in a movie scene and we're grooving out to a song on the radio, that's diegetic. It's happening in the universe. But if I'm walking down a long hallway and there's suspenseful music, that's not coming from the film.
No. Yeah.
Or the universe, that's coming from the outside part. That's,
outside the
for
four
the
walls.
movie, and that's non-diegetic.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect way to kind of explain that is when two, Cantonese-speaking characters are speaking in perfect English, no accent, that is completely diegetic. It's non-diegetic. It is for the benefit of the audience. But when a Cantonese-speaking character is talking to a English-speaking character in the show, it is now diegetic. It's really happening in universe. I think that's a good way to explain it. I know it's a little, it was a lot, but that's a kind of a basic way, the same way you would think of music in it or sound effects in a movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how it works too. And it addresses such a huge problem that I have with so much media. It's such a simple way too.
Right.
And it's just that one added detail just gave me a whole lot more respect for it in terms of just how it's shot and how it's made, you know? And then you add the fight choreography on top of that, and it's just fucking balls to the wall. It's just awesome.
Well, that's such a problem I think so much American media has is like, you know, God forbid we make something with foreign characters and we subtitle it.
Yeah.
Like one of things in American media, their favorite thing to do, because, you know, sometimes like, this is going to be a weird example, but there was the Conjuring universe had a horror movie about La Llorona, who's a, you know, pretty heavy in the Hispanic culture of
I will listen to a lore episode about that.
Yeah. And obviously it was set in America because of course, but there are obviously Spanish speaking characters in the film because if you don't do that, they will literally set your studio on fire.
I mean,
but of course the main character,
Mexican folklore.
Yeah, but of course the main character's white. It's fucking Velma from Scooby-Doo, you know.
Mighty Whitey, I told you.
What they do is sometimes they will subtitle characters who are speaking Spanish, very rarely. But instead of doing it all the time, or just God forbid setting the movie in Mexico, or even just in a Mexican household, and constantly having them speak Spanish, they'll do this thing where,
oh god,
they'll have a Mexican character speak a line in Spanish and not subtitle it. Instead, they'll speak the line in Spanish and then they will fucking repeat it in English. So they'll say a line in Spanish and then re-say it in perfect English, and it's like, why didn't you just pick one, motherfucker? Like, it's not even like Spanglish. Like, it's not even like there are some people who speak both languages who get so riled up that they
interchange words and stuff.
Yeah.
My grandparents do that with Tagalog.
Yeah. But it is just perfect and I don't fucking speak Spanish, but it is just perfect Spanish. Okay, let's say it again in English to make sure all the fucking whiteys out there
like
heard
the
it.
actors like dubbing it for us.
Yeah,
like in real time.
Just pick one.
That's,
you know?
Yeah, like it's and like let me guess, like were was Spanish like their first language, these characters?
Of course.
There you go.
They're
like,
a fully Mexican household.
What's the harm of just having them speak Spanish and putting some subtitles every now and then?
It is a Mexican
God forbid,
folklore, for fuck's sake.
God forbid someone has to read some subtitles every fucking now and then.
That's what I'm saying. Like, one thing and you know, even beyond like, you know, we all read, we all watch anime for the most part. A lot of us have experience.
Everybody watches anime.
And we've all had to watch some subs. Fuck, I watch shows in perfect English with subtitles on.
Same. I always have my subtitles on.
Exactly. And we should normalize doing that for people who are not hearing abled as well.